All right. So we are going to start today having a seat on our mats. Just nice, comfortable, legs crossed, feet out, feet on the floor. And we'll just let our hands rest wherever's comfortable, whether that's in our laps, down by our sides. And we'll start to close the eyes. Start to focus on the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling the breath move in through the body, filling all the spaces in the lungs. And then feeling it leave the body with each exhale. Taking this time to focus on the breath, to recognize how it makes us feel. We're also taking these next few minutes to start to let that day go. Bringing ourselves into our rooms and onto our mats. So just take a few minutes right now to just focus on that breath. And we'll take just a couple more deep inhales and exhales here. And taking one more breath. Exhaling it out. And if we want, we can start to open the eyes here, or if we'd rather keep them closed, whatever is more comfortable to you. We'll take the hands and I'll come down by the sides. And on the next inhale, start to lift the arms up. And on the exhale, turn those palms away, bringing those arms back down. Just moving with our breath here. Inhale, bring the arms up. And exhale, bringing them down. Inhale the arms up. And exhaling back down. And inhaling up. And exhale down. And we'll inhale those arms up. And as we exhale, start to open the arms out to the left, bringing ourselves into a little bit of a twist here, letting the hands come down. If we can, try to bring that gaze over that back shoulder, but only going as far as is comfortable, still just warming up. And take a few deep breaths here. And on our next inhale, lifting those arms back up. And as we exhale, twisting over to that opposite side, letting those hands come down. Again, trying to bring that gaze over that back shoulder, but only going to where it's comfortable. Taking those deep breaths. And on our next inhale, bring those arms back up, coming back forward. And exhale, drop that left arm down and just kind of rotate over that left side. If you want to open the chest up a little bit, bring that gaze up towards the sky and just kind of rotate that top shoulder. Or if that's not there for you today, just bringing the gaze forward. And on our next inhale, bring that left arm back up. And on that exhale, drop that right arm down. Same thing on this side, just gently stretching that left side body. And again, if you want to open up that chest, just bring that gaze up to the ceiling and opening up that shoulder. Whatever's comfortable. And on our next inhale, bringing that arm back up. And we'll exhale those arms down. And take the hands, place them on the lap, and we'll slowly start to drop that head down, bring that chin to the chest. And then let that head hang there for just a moment. And then start to rotate that head from side to side. Trying to stay in the front of the body so we're not going a full circle with that neck. Going as fast or as slow as is comfortable. Trying to relax those shoulders down. And the next time we get to that right side, we'll hold that ear over that shoulder. And take that left hand down, just kind of gently placing it on the mat or just the fingertips. Just getting that little extra stretch. And we'll take that hand, place it back on the legs, and slowly rotate that head over to that other side, and let that head rest over that shoulder. Take that right hand down onto the mat. Again, we can just place those fingertips and take those deep breaths. And take that hand, place it back on the leg, and slowly rotate that head back center and hold it there. Relaxing that neck down. If we want to add just a little bit more weight to that head, we can take the hands, pass them behind the head, placing them down, opening those shoulders or those elbows, and then slowly start to let those elbows drop down towards the face. If that's too much pressure on that neck, we can release those hands down. We'll hold it for a couple breaths. And if you have those hands behind the head, slowly release them, placing them back on the lap. And we'll slowly start to lift that head back up. And then we're going to take the chin and point it straight up to the ceiling, stretching out the front of that neck. And then slowly bring that head back center. And take those shoulders, lift them up towards the ears, rolling them back. Inhale, bring the shoulders up. Exhale, rolling them back. Just moving with the breath here. Taking your time. And this time we'll inhale those shoulders up, and as you exhale, roll them forward. Again, just moving with your breath, taking your time. And doing it one more time. And let those shoulders just hang. We'll take a deep inhale and exhale it out. And when you feel ready, come up onto your hands and your knees. And we'll take a moment right now to line those wrists right under those shoulders. Take the knees, line them up under the hips. Place those feet top flat on the floor. And I know normally we stay right here, but we're going to widen those legs just a little bit. So if you want to walk on like a knee length out, and then you can just rotate those feet. So we have a little bit of a wider pose here. So we're going to go into our cat-cow with that little bit wider of the legs. So we'll inhale, drop that belly down, bring that gaze up. Exhale, roll that spine, tuck that chin. Inhale, dropping down, gaze up. Exhale, roll that spine. Inhale, dropping down, gaze up. Exhale, roll that spine. Inhale, dropping down, gaze up. Exhale, roll the spine. Doing it one more time. Inhale, dropping that belly down. And exhale, roll that spine. And on that next inhale, coming to that neutral spine, we're going to tuck those toes together. Keep those legs nice and wide and start to push those hips back down onto those heels. Drop that forehead to the mat. Let those arms stretch out nice and long on the mat. So get a little bit of stretch in those shoulders and that upper back. And then when those shoulders get tired, take those arms and let them come right down by the legs. And take a couple deep breaths here. And we'll take those hands out from beside those legs, walking them out nice and long on the mat, getting that stretch in those shoulders again. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. And on the next inhale, coming back up onto those hands and those knees. Lining those wrists under those shoulders. And then we're going to untuck those toes and move those knees back right under those hips. So we're nice in that alignment again. And we'll take our right hand, stretching it straight in front of us like we're going to shake someone's hand, and take that left leg, pointing it straight back. So those toes are pointing down to the ground. And we're going to hold it here for a couple breaths. So a little bit of a balance at the same time as we're holding this. So trying to find a little spot on the mat that's not moving. Taking those deep breaths. And then take that hand, place it down on the mat. Take that leg, place it down on the mat. Take a second again to line ourselves back up. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. So taking that left hand, sticking it straight out like we're gonna shake that hand. Take that right leg back. Toes are flexed down, pointing to the ground. And holding it for those breaths. Again, a little bit of a balance here. So finding that little spot on the mat. Holding it for a couple breaths. And exhale, place that hand down, place that leg down. Lining everything back up. So we're gonna take our, left leg, bringing it up off the mat with a bend in the knee. So we're flexing that foot like we had it straight out, but that knee's bent. So that foot is almost like it's gonna step on the ceiling. And we're gonna bring that knee into the chest. And exhale, bring it back up into that bent knee. Coming back into that chest on the inhale. Exhale, pushing it back up. Inhale, bringing that knee in. And exhale, pushing it back up. Doing that one more time. Inhale, bringing that knee in. And exhale, pushing that leg back up. And dropping it down. We're gonna tuck the toes behind us and push those hips up towards the sky, coming into a down dog. We'll hold this for a couple breaths. So feel free to pedal out those legs, waking up the backs of them. Maybe stretching one side, holding one side. Whatever's comfortable here. And let those legs relax. And we're gonna take that left leg, just lifting it straight up to the sky, trying to keep it straight here, pointing those toes back down to the mat. So flexing that leg, almost like when we were down on our knees. Just holding it for a couple breaths. Trying to keep equal weight in both hands and that back foot. We start to tend to lean to that right side. Just trying to keep it nice and even. And then exhale that leg down. Drop down onto those knees. Big toes together, sink those hips down, and rest that forehead on the mat. If those shoulders need a little break, you can take them and let them come right alongside those legs. Feel free to roll the wrists out. We had them bent for a while, so we need to stretch those wrists. Feel free. And take a couple deep breaths here. And we'll take those hands if they're down alongside those legs, letting them come straight on the mat, giving those shoulders again that stretch. And take that deep inhale and exhale it out. On that next inhale, coming back up onto all fours. Taking that moment to line ourselves up. And we'll take the right leg this time, lifting it up off the mat with a bend in that knee. So that foot's nice and flexed. So like I said before, almost like we're putting that foot and walking it right on that ceiling. And as we inhale, bring that knee to the chest. Exhale, push that leg up. Inhale, bring that knee to the chest. And exhale it up. Inhale, bring that knee in. Exhale up. Doing it one more time. Inhale, bringing that knee in. And exhale it up. And dropping that knee back down onto the mat. Tucking those toes, lifting those hips up to that down dog. Again, holding this for a few breaths, so feel free to pedal those feet out. Maybe taking notice those legs might be a little bit looser from just a little bit ago. And let those feet come down. Taking that right leg straight up to the sky. Pointing those feet or those toes down to the mat. Again, trying to keep that equal weight between each hand and that back foot. Starting not to try to lean over to that left side. Taking a few breaths here. And exhale, bringing that foot down. And on that inhale, walk the feet up to the hands. Folding ourselves over our legs. And letting ourselves hang here for just a minute. So relax that head, relax those shoulders. Go ahead and take a hold of the opposite elbow here. And sway, slide to side. And coming back, center. We'll let ourselves hang here for just a minute, holding those elbows. And take a couple deep breaths. And release those hands down. We'll place those hands on those thighs and slowly roll ourselves up, allowing that blood to rush back up to the head slowly so we don't get that rush. Stacking ourselves, letting that head come up and roll those shoulders back. We'll take the hands out by the sides, the fingers nice and wide. Close the eyes, and then take a couple deep breaths. And we'll open those eyes back up. And inhale, bring those arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to start to open those hands nice and wide. Just keeping them at a 90-degree angle with those hands open wide. Fingertips are pointing up. And we're going to move through this a couple times. So inhale, bringing those arms up. And exhale, going back down with that bend in those elbows. Inhale those arms up. And exhale those arms down. And a couple more. Inhale the arms up. Exhale down. And inhale up. And exhale down. And we'll inhale those arms back up. And as we exhale this time, open those palms out to the side. Bring those arms all the way down. We'll take a hold of the hands behind the back, clasping those hands, and just kind of straighten those arms, stretch those shoulders out, opening up that chest. And then release those hands, letting them come back to the sides. Those hands nice and wide. And take an inhale in. And exhale it out. On our next inhale, we'll bring those arms up, keys going up towards those thumbs. Exhale, swan dive ourselves over those legs. Inhale, step back to a high plank or onto those knees. Exhale all the way onto the mat. Untuck those toes. Inhale, lift that chest. And exhale back down. Inhale back to down dog. So taking a couple breaths here. Again, anytime in our down dog, we can pedal those feet out. Taking our time, lifting one heel, dropping the other. Taking a couple breaths here. And on that next inhale, walk those feet up to those hands. Folding over the legs. And inhale all the way up. Oh, grab the arms. Exhale those arms down. And release those hands again down by the sides. Nice wide fingers, close the eyes. Take a deep inhale. And exhale it out. This time we're going to take our right arm, place it right on our shoulder, and we're going to take the left arm and just start to open it up and start to do some circles. Going forward, taking our time, feeling all those little muscles move in each arm, in this arm. We're trying to just open up that shoulder. And then once we finish that circle, we're going to start to go backwards. So move that arm backwards. Again, taking the time here, trying not to go too quick through these circles. And we'll do one more here. And let that arm come down. We'll drop that opposite arm off the shoulder. Give that left arm a nice little wiggle. And then we'll take the left arm, placing it back up on that shoulder, and doing that same thing with that right arm. So circling around, nice big circles. Open that shoulder up, feeling all those muscles move. Again, taking our time here, not going too fast. Just feeling that nice stretch in that shoulder. And doing one more. And then we'll go opposite direction. So letting that circle come backwards. Again, taking our time. And we'll do one more nice big circle. And let that arm come down. Release that left arm and shake out that right. And let's shake them both out at the same time. Why not? All right, let those arms come down by the sides. We'll take an inhale up, bring that gaze up towards the hands. And exhale, swan dive ourselves over those legs. Inhale, come to a half lift. Exhale, folding back down. Inhale, step those feet back to that high plank or onto those knees. Exhale, coming all the way onto the mat. Untuck those toes. And inhale, lifting that chest. Exhale, back down. Inhale, pushing back to that down dog. Taking those couple breaths here. So again, feel free to pedal those feet out. And take those deep breaths here. On our next inhale, we're going to lift our right leg up with a bend in the knee. As we exhale, shift that leg forward, dropping it between those thumbs. Rotating that back foot down so it's parallel with the mat. We'll take those hands up on that thigh, give ourselves that help up. Take a second to adjust the feet if we need to now that we're standing. We're going to put a bend in that front knee. Those arms are going to go out over those legs. Gaze over that front middle finger and relax those shoulders down the back. So we have even weight between those feet. Feeling very balanced in this pose. Strong and steady. Taking those deep breaths. On our next inhale, we're going to rotate that front palm so it's facing the ceiling. As we exhale, start to shift ourselves back. So we normally take that back hand, resting it on the thigh, but I want to bring it up, grab the wrist of that upper hand, and just kind of, not necessarily pull it, but just kind of bring it back just slightly. So we're just holding that wrist. So we're engaging those abs here. We're in a slight back bend. And take those deep breaths. That back elbow can kind of shift wherever it is. If it starts to come forward, that's okay. Take a few deep breaths here. And on that next inhale, release that hand, open those arms back out to that warrior two. And then exhale those hands, bringing them behind the back. And we can either kind of fist bump or just rest those hands on top of each other, whatever's more comfortable. Take an inhale here at the top. And as we exhale, we're going to start to shift that upper body kind of at an angle so that the head's not coming straight over that leg. It's more kind of like a little bit of that shoulder. If it's too much with the arms here, we can take those arms and rest them either on the inside of that leg or kind of on each side of that foot, whatever's comfortable. Take a few deep breaths. And if we have those hands behind the back, we'll bring it down onto the ground. Rotate that back foot so it's up on those toes. And inhale that front foot back to a down dog. And we'll come down onto those knees. Have those big toes together. Sink those hips back, forehead down. Take a few breaths here. Again, if those arms need a little bit of rest, feel free to rest them down by the sides. Take this opportunity here to catch the breath if you've lost it, or to reconnect with it. And on that next inhale, coming back up onto those hands and those knees. We'll tuck those toes behind us and lift those hips up, coming into a down dog. Again, taking a couple breaths here. Feel free to pedal the feet out. And on that next inhale, lifting that left leg up. As we exhale, bringing that knee towards that chest, dropping that foot between those thumbs. And we'll rotate that back foot so it's parallel with the mat. Taking those hands on that thigh, giving ourselves that little assist up. Switch around for you guys. All right, when we're adjusted, we feel steady, we'll put a bend in that front knee. Bring those arms out over the legs and that gaze over that front middle finger. And relax those shoulders down the back. Taking those deep breaths. Again, feeling nice and steady here. Even weight between those feet. Feeling the strength in the legs holding us up. And on that next inhale, rotating that front palm so it's facing the ceiling. On exhale, dropping it back and taking that back hand, bringing it up towards that wrist, taking a hold of that wrist. And again, not necessarily pulling that arm back, but just kind of giving that rest or giving that hand just a little hold here. Again, that back elbow, if it's kind of flopping forward, that's okay. Engaging those abs because we're in that slight back bend. And taking those deep breaths. And then slowly releasing that hand, coming back forward, letting those hands come out over those legs. And exhale, bringing those hands down behind the back. Again, we can fist bump those wrists or those knuckles together, or resting those hands on top of each other. If we are resting the hands, try to switch the hands so the opposite hand is on top. We'll take an inhale. And as we exhale, starting to shift ourselves forward at that angle. So you're coming on the inside of those legs. Again, we can always release those hands down, either having one hand on both sides of the feet or just coming down on the inside of that leg or foot. Taking a few deep breaths. And on that next inhale, we're gonna come back up. Release those hands, straighten that front leg. Let it kind of breathe a little bit and rotate that foot so it's also parallel with the mat. And then line those toes up with each other. And then take those toes and just rotate them slightly so they're pointing off to the corners of the mats. We're gonna do one more little push for these thighs. So we'll inhale, bring those arms up. And as we exhale, we're gonna start to bend the knees, bring the arms down to the sides. As we inhale, push ourselves back up, straightening those arms. As we exhale, coming back down, bending those knees, elbows bent. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, coming down. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Do it one more time. Exhale down. And inhale up. And this time when we exhale, we're just gonna come straight down between those legs. If you need to kind of rotate those toes so they're pointing back forward, might be a little bit more comfortable on the legs. And just let ourselves hang down here. Release that neck, release the shoulders. Circle that head. Maybe shake it yes and shake it no. And then let it just hang. Take a few deep breaths. Then we'll take those hands, placing them right in front of the face, straighten those arms. Start to walk those hands to the front of your mat, rotating those feet. And then step that back foot down, back to the other foot. Front foot back to the, oh my gosh, you guys get it, into a down dog. And then drop down onto those knees. And making our way to have a seat down onto our mats. Sorry about that tongue tie there. And we're gonna take the left leg, sticking it kind of off to the side, I guess, at a little bit of an angle. So it's coming straight out from that hip. We're gonna take that right leg, bringing it in, leaving a little bit of a space between the foot and the leg. So we don't wanna push that leg or that foot all the way up. So we're gonna kind of bend over at a little bit of a tilt over this leg. So I find it's easiest to kind of take the left hand, kind of sweep it like we're gonna do a hitchhike thumb here, and then rotate it and bending that knee, kind of hooking onto that foot. And then if we can, straighten that leg out or keep the bend in the leg, wherever it's comfortable here. So we kind of have a tilt over that leg. Then we're gonna take the right hand and just bring it up. Just going as far as is comfortable here, feeling a stretch in the lower back as well as in the leg. And taking those deep breaths. And on that next inhale, slowly bringing ourselves back up, releasing that foot. We're just gonna take that right hand, place it down, and just kind of bring that left hand over just to get a little bit of an opposite stretch here. And then come back forward. We'll take that left leg, bring it in, and switch it out with that right leg. Again, that leg's coming kind of at that angle straight out from the hip. Bringing that left leg in, so we have that little bit of that space between the foot and the leg. And again, we're gonna kind of take that right hand and kind of hitchhike it out. So we'll come across, hitchhiker's thumb up, and then rotate that palm, taking a hold of that foot with a bend in that knee, and then straighten that leg or keeping that bend. Take that left hand, just stretch it up and over. So again, we're feeling that stretch in the lower back, as well as down all that left side of the body. And we'll slowly bring ourselves back up. Again, taking that left hand down, doing that little bit of that counter twist, so bringing that right arm just stretching over that side. And then coming back forward. We'll take the feet. Let's keep those legs straight out in front of us, kind of rock side to side, so we're up on those sit bones. Inhale those arms up. And exhale, fold straight over those legs. Again, we can keep that bend in the knees, trying to keep the length in the back so we don't want to round ourselves over those legs. Just letting those hands come to wherever we feel that stretch. And take those deep breaths. And take those hands, place them on either side of the leg, and slowly start to walk yourself up, helping that back out. And then we're gonna make our way all the way down onto our mats. So take your time getting down here. And take those feet, place them up on the mat. We'll take the hands out, stretched on both sides, kind of like a T. And then take those feet, just slightly walk them over to that right side, and then shift those hips over. Bring those knees into the chest, and then rotate that feet down, or those legs down on the left side. Feeling that twist all the way down the back. And taking those deep breaths. On that next inhale, start to lift that right leg up, follow it by that left leg. Place those feet back down onto the mat. And then slowly walk them over to that left side, shifting those hips over. Bring those knees up into the chest, and then let those legs fall down to the right. Again, feeling that twist all the way up that back. And sending that breath all the way down. On that next inhale, start to lift that left leg up. Follow it by that right. Take those feet, place them down onto the mat. Walk them back center. And take the feet, placing them on the far side of the mat. And then just let those legs fall to each side. Taking our time here. And then let those legs come back up. Walk those feet back center. And then lay those legs all the way down onto the mat. Take those arms up overhead. Doing one final stretch here. So stretch those arms all the way up. Stretch those legs all the way down. Full body stretch, just like we're waking up in the morning. And then release it all down onto the mat. Let those legs fall to wherever's comfortable. Let those arms come down by your sides. Start to close the eyes. Start to refocus on the breath. Feeling the inhales coming in. Filling all the spaces in the lungs. Moving down to the fingertips and toes. And then feeling it leave the body with each exhale. Taking this time to try to clear the mind of any thoughts you might have. Release any tension holding in the body. Just feeling them all go away with each exhale. Sinking deeper and deeper into your mat. If you find that you start to get thoughts entering your mind, or maybe just having a difficult time turning them off, try to focus on your breath, maybe counting the inhales or counting the exhales, knowing that this is your time to not have to worry about anything, to not have to think about anything, to just be with yourself right here on your mat. Start to bring a little life back into your body by wiggling your fingers and toes. Start to roll your wrists and ankles. Rock your head from side to side. Begin deepening your inhales and exhales. And when you feel ready, slowly take one foot, place it on the mat, and follow it by that other foot. Slowly bring one knee to the chest, followed by the other. Take a hold of those legs and rock side to side. And when you feel ready, roll onto your right side. With your right side grounded by the earth, leaving your left side open to the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all the gifts the universe has to offer you today. When you feel ready, come up to a comfortable seated position. We'll take those hands, place them in front of the heart. Close the eyes one last time. Take a deep inhale and exhale it all out. Thank you for sharing your practice with me this evening. Have a great rest of your night. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.